Today, anglers have a wide array of lures to choose from. You name your favorite: spinnerbaits, crankbaits, topwater, jerkbaits, jigs, rigs, and various plastics each have seasonal windows when they're the best choice depending on the depth conditions one happens to be fishing on the water. In more recent years, swimbaits have taken on a far more dramatic place in anglers' arsenal across the country. Today's swimmers are fished deep, shallow, in wood and weeds, in both fresh and salt water. You name it, from 1-inch finesse baits for panfish to 12-inch for musky and every size in between. Swimbaits are real fish catchers that highly resemble most predatory game fish's favorite prey species. Let's join James and Troy Lindner with more on Swimbait Secrets.
You know, these different applications to put, swimbaits on can be absolutely deadly on smallmouth bass, not only spring, but any time of the year.
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride.
Yeah, there.
Got him?
Yep. Okay, yep. My first fish of the morning here. And actually, this one is kind of nice. We came up on the spot and I kind of threw out just to this little rock pound. I kind of threw out there, fishing off the back here. And not a really strong bite, just kind of a little nice fish. Good way to start. Take it.
It's a better one there.
Yeah.
You need a net for that little rascal?
I'll get him. No, it's fine. It's no problem. You get them. That's what I like about these nice single hooks and these swim baits like this. Once you get them pinned, you just keep the tension on them and you got the braid like this. Hey, not too bad. Yeah, I'll just, oh yeah, he's hooked really good. Just get him in the mouth. That's a nice, chunky, pre-spawn smallmouth bass. That hook is really good. I have to pop it out like that. You can see the bellies on these fish. They're all gonna be carrying extra weight this time of year. Water temps in that kind of low mid 50 range, and they're in the kind of their pre-spawn mode up here. This is a really healthy fish. Get this one back.
So Jared was saying there was lots of those. There's one. Ooh.
Yeah, nice. Point coming out.
Same thing. Boy, they're little
really hot.
Little chunky monkeys, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, look at them. Look at that guy. Right now, Troy and I really been just combing water with the really classic system to catch pre-spawn smallmouth with swim baits, and we're just using a little big bite swimmer. This is a 4-inch and a hybrid Swimbait jig. This is by VMC. It's sort of an interesting system. It's got a little screw lock on there and it really locks the bait onto the jig, which is really nice. Particularly in the fact that some of these swim baits are pretty expensive. The high-end ones are almost $1 a pop. But the biggest thing is your ability to cover water in so many different varied situations. And what we're going to talk about is just look at different swim bait strategies, but not only that, the delivery systems for swim baits, what you can do with these baits, because they're pretty versatile.
Pop back there. Sometimes these smallmouth, especially this time of year, they'll come back and actually, I guess throughout the entire year, just the attitude of smallmouth, they'll hit a bait a couple times. They're not afraid to smack the bait a couple times right through the top there. There we go. You can see it's not a really long fish, but the really fat fish. I mean, they're really filled out. Probably the heaviest weight of the year on all these. You can see with this VMC hybrid swimbait jig right here, you see they're chewing it up, but this is where the screw lock is right there. So you slide the swimbait on and you kind of do a few turns and it locks it on the jig and it really holds it on there, really well. Soft plastics like this, you can catch a number of fish on them. I have, you know, 3 fish, actually 4 fish. I even had a pike on this, you know, 4 fish just on the Swimbait, 3 smallmouth, 1 pike, and it's holding on there really good.
Right now we're on Leech Lake. It's a pretty good sized body of water. It's got a really diverse type of rock habitat in these smallmouth bass. You know, it's early spring, the water temperature is 54 degrees, and these fish are just coming in out of their wintering areas, and they're really spread out on really diverse areas, because actually we caught some out on the very tip of the point, and now we're almost way in the back end of the bay, and they're sort of spread out in between. Like in the next couple of weeks, you know, as more of these fish get closer to their spawn period, a lot of them are going to be really packed up in the shallow water. But right now, with the water temperature, you know, anywhere from the high 40s into the low 50s, fish can be spread out over a lot of area, and that's where, you know, Swimbaits is the key to the whole bait, is just the ability to cover so much water really quickly.
Well, swimbait fishing can be very easy. It can be as simple as just putting a little bait, a little swimbait on any jig head. But nowadays there's such an array of different, you know, jigs and different systems that you can put these baits on. It really opens up how you fish them. And it really allows for a wider range of tactics based on, you know, even the type of rod and line that you use.
You know, as Troy was saying, that, you know, the biggest thing is the size of the swim bait and what you're trying to do. Right now we're really finesse fishing, so we're using relatively small baits, spinning rods, 10-pound test line to catch these fish. And you'll see what I have here. I have a number of different heads, and it's all over the board, from super finesse, half moons, is 1/3 or 3/32 ounce. That's what I use for 2.5, the really smallest baits. Moving up to the half moon. This has a classic, a little bit of a bigger hook on it, and this is what I would use for 3-inch baits. And you'll see this is really lightweight. This is 16th ounce weight. Sometimes when the fish are really super shallow and skittish, that really lightweight head is really critical. Moving up, we got the hybrid swimbait jig that we're using right now. I'm using what is 3/16. And then now we're going to the next size up, and we use these a lot. This is a boxer head jig, but one thing you'll notice about this is a far and away bigger hook. This actually, you have to be running anywhere between 15 to 25-pound test line to fish with this head, but we still use this for a lot of times for largemouth bass, even smallmouth bass, when we're fishing in deeper water with, you know, 4 to 5-inch or 5-inch swim baits, bigger profile lures. So the thing is, when you look at and you buy heads, you want to buy a variety of different sizes, and even the biggest thing is the hook for the line you're fishing and what rod you're fishing it on. Big one, but the you notice that there's actually, the last couple of fish have been caught in a really pretty specific location. And what that is we have like 5 to 6 foot of water cuts right into the bank. It's sort of like the closest in where that deeper water cuts in right to the shoreline.
The best performing electric fillet knife for both fresh and saltwater anglers. With our trusted non-slip grip, the Bubba electric fillet knife provides the precision, control, and flex to fillet any size fish.
Want to learn how to catch more and bigger fish? Well, we've got the place for you. Introducing the Fish Head Video Library. Now you can enjoy hour after hour of educational videos right on your phone, tablet, laptop, desktop, or even stream videos right to your TV. Largemouth, smallmouth, walleye, catfish, musky, pike and panfish, open water or on the ice. Check out Fishhead TV to rent, buy, or become a Fishhead member today.
Bubba has designed a fillet knife for both fresh and saltwater anglers. With our trusted non-slip grip, the Bubba fillet knives provide the precision, control, and flex to fillet any size fish.
This segment is brought to you by Blackfish Outdoor Apparel, because you can't choose the weather.
It's really great and useful when you have a good lens to see down in the water, and you can try on a lot of different manufacturers, and you get some like this Wavy Label lens here to really see down, and especially when the sun kicks out, it just you can really spot these fish. You can see these boulders, and when you're sight casting, it's really important. And also, like we just noticed, the sun popped out and we're seeing some of the smallmouth come in and swim under the boat, and if it was a little bit cloudy, or else if I didn't have a good lens, I wouldn't have saw those fish. And now we're going to turn around and try to target these fish a little bit differently. So not only for your eye protection, running across the lake and then fishing, and if you're setting the hook and making sure your eyes stay safe, it's a good way and a great way to peer beneath the surface of the water and look down and really see, especially in some of these clear water lakes, to see what's happening down there, see fish that are following, see boulders, see bottom composition.
Got him.
A very, very important tool.
See, we backed off. You can see that there's like a boulder ridge out there. And inside that boulder ridge, there's a whole bunch of them. Troy could see them down in, and they're sitting on the sand. Their fish aren't really active, so the relative speed of the bait, that time I was actually tracking that bait, is actually dragging on the bottom. It's not really, swimming it really quickly. It's just almost like a really super slow, just a tail wagging retrieve. Come here, buddy. I'm gonna talon down out here. I'm gonna spin out a little bit so I don't blow back in. I think we should be able to catch a couple more by doing a couple of things. Come here, buddy. You're not a biggie, but a fat little guy. Look at that guy. He's got a bunch of buddies in there too. And the thing is when they're really inactive like that, right now I have the cane thumper on. That's a relatively small bait, but the thing is I can actually go a lot smaller than that. And what's really amazing, at certain points in time, particularly at this time of the year, we're going really small, we'll catch really big ones in conditions just like this. Go to 2.5-inch baits. Okay, talon down, bub. Troy, you should get one. Yeah. What are you throwing there?
I got the suicide shad on a Tokyo. What's nice when we double talon down, you got both talons, they spike down and they hold you. You're parked right in place. You can see the wind is blowing in this way, and we're really maximizing our cast, throwing with the wind, using that toward direction, and the boat is locked down and allowing us to catch more fish and stay put. James, what's the history here on Leech about the smallmouth population?
They've been in here for a long, long time. But the thing is the population, it took a while to grow. It used to have sort of a nominal population of fish where you couldn't really go fish for them. And just in recent years, I think we had spoken to the DNR, and they said that the number of fish is really increasing. The smallmouth bass have really burgeoned in this lake, so, which is a good thing. We got more. And this lake here, the way this lake is laid out, is going to be one fabulous smallmouth bass fishery, because it has just so many different multi-layered rock reefs. It's got weeds, chara, grass. I mean, this is going to be a fabulous smallmouth bass lake. It's just a little guy, but he's a brown one. Now I got the technique, and I had 3 bites on 3 casts. And the thing is you say, well, it's swim bait, and you reel it up swimming off the bottom. No, I'm taking it out, throwing it out, and almost reeling it like a roller jig, and it's tracking on the bottom, and the tail's just going doom, 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 doom. Really, really slow. A little cane thumper. Leech is one of those lakes that's just a fabulous all-around lake where it's it's a good perch fishery, walleyes, muskies, smallmouth bass, and even largemouth bass. It's a really unique lake. Yeah, you have whopper crappies and big bluegills. It's got a lot of the right depth, habitat and food shelves, tremendous amounts of food shelves in this lake.
Yeah, Leech Lake is such a great, destination for, for anglers. If you're coming out here with a buddy, with a friend, or families, there's so many resorts all around the lake. Walker, there's little gift shops. You get sporting goods stores there, restaurants, and the fishing out here is just outstanding. In the past couple of years, I've had some really good musky, walleye, and smallmouth bass. Those are three fish I kind of concentrate on out here. And I've had big bites of every single one of those. And it's just a really fun lake. It's a big lake, and it's really a fantastic community.
You got another one?
Yeah, big one. Yeah, this one feels better.
You can't choose the weather, but you can choose outerwear that works. Technical apparel, rain gear, soft shells, sunwear, when you need to stay comfortable all day, choose Blackfish, because you can't choose the weather.
What lies beneath can no longer hide. New Mega Imaging Plus uses high-frequency sonar to show you fish and structure up to 200 feet below your boat and 200 feet out to either side. No more secrets, no more guesswork, just a clearer picture of the world below, down to a fish's species and direction. Because more detail means more of this. Only from Humminbird.
If you want to know how the best anglers always seem to find fish, stay on fish, and be in the right place at the right time, don't ask them. Just look at the name on the side of their boat. The one that's built 10 million motors, shallow water anchors, and more. No angler's gonna tell you their secrets, but they don't have to, because you already know. Minn Kota, fish for more.
You don't know their names yet, but you will.
The Edge is presented by these and other fine sponsors.
There he is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Got anybody with him?
Yeah, no, he's by himself. Locked down. That's one thing with this finesse fishing. I actually like fishing with a little bit of longer rod. I like a 7-footer. I got a Triumph, which is actually sort of a lighter reel, but it's the same thing what Troy was talking, a medium power rod. You can see you're fishing them on light line. A lot of times we're fishing, 832 braid, either like 8-pound test braid with like a, 6 to 8 pound shank of fluorocarbon leader. Come here, buddy. Oh boy, she is a tanker there. Look at that little tub. Yeah. Now you're talking. It's sort of interesting that these fish, they're just coming in right now. Boy, that's a beautiful fish, isn't it? Look at that thing. Just gorgeous. But they're just coming in out of deep water, feeding up before they spawn. We'll get her back in the drink. Boy, that's a fatso. Come here, buddy. Sort of an interesting spot here when you look at it on the map, because we're actually on about a 4-foot sand flat, way away from any rocks. And the interesting thing is at this time of the year, these fish actually, summer out on these rock extensions, but when they come back in spring, especially right now, these fish are coming in, they're warming up and feeding prior to spawning. So they go to bizarre spots. A lot of times I've been finding the last couple of years, it's amazing. We're in like just a back end of a bay. There's a little harbor here, but there's a little bit of darker bottom in here. It's only 4 foot of water, and there's a whole school of fish in this little dishpan flat in here. Sort of an interesting thing, but it's not only here. Just spots like it at this time of the year. Shallow, warm water.
He came up and, whoop. Oh, there's one with him. I bet you get one of these other ones. You probably, oh, not a nice one.
What's that?
He's got a couple buddies with him.
Do you?
Yeah. I was throwing the one James saw one. That's why this is where your polarized. Is he right there? He's right. There's
I
two.
got him.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them.
Oh, there's 4 of them.
4 of them. Yeah.
James saw. I said, this is where you're.
Well, look at it here. I got another one. Looking at my.
Oh
bait.
yeah.
Oh,
did he hit it?
Come on. Troy, you scared me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
No, that's all right. Yeah.
Where your good polarized lens, you know, to see these fish. James spotted those, and I looked out and I flipped at one, and this one came out of nowhere. This wasn't the one I was flipping to. Pop that little jig up. Look at how fat these fish are. You can see just right below their chin to their belly. They're so filled out. Get this one back, and I'm going to talk about the setup here to throw these finesse or swim baits. There you go, buddy. So the setup here, and this is a good all-around setup for kind of finesse swim baiting like this. I got a Legend tournament. This happens to be a 6/8 medium extra fast. This is actually a snap jig rod, Legend tournament from St. Croix in the walleye series. But you know, these also work well, obviously, for smallmouth bass. This is a great reel. This is their new 2500. I think this is called Kaji. It's spelled, when you look at it, Cage, I'm probably saying this wrong, but I know that this reel is really awesome. Nice size for the, you know, for the light braid on there. And the action on these rods, this is 6/8, so anything, I think, you know, a 6/8 to 7/2, you know, medium power with a little tip on there like that, extra fast or fast, is gonna be really good. This is the one that's been working excellent for me. There, well, that's, yeah. It was just kind of a slow rolling over the rock. Slow rolling. Oh, he's got a buddy with him, 2 of them. Yeah, 2 or 3 of them actually. They're slow. I felt the bait kind of roll up over the rock, and as it kind of rolled down, this one hit it. And that's, oh yeah. See, the sun is out and the bite is really good. You know, nice, all these fish are nice, you know, the length to the weight of them, but this, you know, these different applications to put, you know, swim baits on can be absolutely deadly on smallmouth bass, you know, not only spring, but any time of the year.
Hey, this world today is a lot different world than I grew up in 75 years ago. I want to read you an article that I just picked up. It's amazing to me. The title of it is Mississippi Adding In God We Trust to the New State Flag May Prompt Satanic Temple Lawsuit. I'm going to grab some different pieces of this. The Satanic Temple reportedly plans to sue Mississippi if the state adds the words, "In God We Trust," to its flag. Voters in Mississippi will be asked to decide on the new state flag design on the November ballot. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We can imagine that there would be some Mississippians who would be a bit put off by the words, "In Satan we trust" on a flag. The Satanic Temple wrote in its letter. If you can imagine that, then you might imagine how atheists, Satanists, and other people, non-theistic faiths, could feel excluded by the addition of "In God We Trust" to the state flag. The Satanic Temple was created in 2013, and it has been involved in other First Amendment lawsuits. When I read this, I'm calming myself down now so I don't go bonkers. Okay? There is something good here. You know what it is? They acknowledge that Satan is alive. that he is moving through this world. And what does Satan do? He steals, he kills, and destroys. You see a lot of that on the news lately all over the world we live in. That's his mantra: steal, kill, and destroy. People are honoring and giving credence to Satan. Satan.